Welcome to the Untrapped Podcast, where we're motivated and inspired about success, small business, and personal development. And now, Keith Kalfas.
Oh, live, dog. Shit. All right, we're live. Everybody, we just had some technical difficulties, but now we're live with Jason Creel from Lawn Care Life. Jason Creel, we're going to talk about the lawn care pricing dilemma and how to get paid what you're worth, because you've been doing this. This ain't your first rodeo. And I'm fired up, bro.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like technical difficulties is part of these things. I can't tell you how many times I get on here and the sound's not working and all, but it was actually for audience's sake here. It was my mistake. I had a setting wrong on my computer for speakers. I couldn't hear Keith talk.
Listen, I have a ritual where I have to do 21 push-ups before I go live every time, and the technical difficulties stop my push-ups. So you got to entertain these guys for 21 seconds.
Okay. All right. Keith's got a ritual. He's got to do 21 push-ups. All right. What I think is happening right now, I'm not sure. I think both my audience at Lawn Care Life YouTube is able to stream this, as well as Keith's audience. I think we're both using this software called StreamYard, which works great. But, depending on if we got everything set up or not, we're trying to both stream it at the same time. So it should probably, who knows what'll happen. So look at Keith. Now he's even got fancy water. I mean, that's not out of the tap there. That water, that's a $3 bottle of water probably. All right. Well, I think we're supposed to. Oh, here we go. I had to click the comment section. And I had to click this comment section and see. I couldn't see what everybody was typing, but now I can see it. So, all right, Rocky Balboa is over there doing his thing.
I'm fired up, bro.
I can tell. You got me. Well, I'm not as fired up as you, but I'm getting there.
Were you out in the field?
Well, yeah, I was. It's getting a little bit hot down here. I was out there basically making some YouTube content today. I'll start back spraying yards next week for my actual business.
Bro, I came to Alabama a few years ago to your live event. It was epic, bro. There was hundreds of people there, and it was amazing. And I had never met you in person before, and I just heard about you. It was the legend of Jason Creel. And then when I met you in person, you're just this incredibly humble dude, and you're so calm. And when I talk to you, it's like you're just right there listening to every word. So I do want to talk about this pricing dilemma. And I go on these Facebook groups and I see all different types of stuff. Like a guy will come in and he'll be like, bro, I feel like throwing in the towel because I can't get the pricing that I need to make. And then other guys will come in. Some people are supportive and encouraging, but other people will just start trashing that guy, saying, well, I make this much. But let's get down to it. Like, in your experience, you've been through all that. What's your experience, bro?
Yeah. I didn't know what we were going to talk about till about 3 minutes ago, but that's fine. I
texted it to you. Oh, I'm sorry. You're busy as hell.
You might have thought I was weird when I was asking you what time. You texted me the other day and said 6 p.m. And then you text me and say, hour and a half, bro. And I was like, wait a minute, I thought it was 6 p.m., and I'm on Central Time. I was like, I don't. So anyway, I was like, well, I guess he means 4 p.m. Eastern.
He's right. This whole thing I messed up. This was supposed to be 6 p.m.
Yeah, well, that's what confused me when you said, see you in an hour and a half, which I was like, okay, whatever. It didn't bother me, but it threw me off for a minute.
Dude, thank you so much, and I'm sorry.
No, this actually worked. This was actually better. I was going to have to make an adjustment for 6 p.m. So,
thank you, sir. My fault. My bad. Well, I'm sorry.
The pricing thing, let me say this. My first lawn business, I had 3, but the first one, I felt like I was definitely underpriced pretty bad. And I think, and Keith, you talk about this all the time, knowing your worth and all that. I don't think I knew my worth. I definitely had the hourly mindset because I had been working. I don't talk about this a whole lot, but I actually wrote a short book one time that was more of a joke than anything, but it was called the minimum wage valedictorian because I was actually valedictorian in my high school and I was working and then went to college and got a degree. And I was literally working for minimum wage after having a college degree. And so I thought, and so anyway, point being, when I started a lawn business, like about the best job I'd ever had before that, I think paid $12 an hour. And so I started a lawn business. You know how this is. It's like if I felt like I was making $30 an hour, I just thought it can't get no better than this. I mean, I wasn't married. I was living for dirt cheap. So any money compared to my previous jobs, I mean, I'd get my weekly paycheck. Sometimes it'd be $200 something after taxes. And I've told this before, the guy that was paying me, I was working for these temp agents. He would put a candy bar in the envelope with the paycheck and say, keep up the good work or so. I was like, man, I don't need a candy bar. I need more than $200 something to make it a week. I mean, I'm talking about a week. And he put a little Hershey bar, say, keep up the good work. And so anyway, I think I had that. I was didn't know my worth, and I was young and had a lot of energy and could work all 11-hour days in 98-degree weather, and it didn't really bother me that much, you know. But looking back, I was like, you know, I had somebody message me the other day and say, hey, what should I charge for my lawns? I'm only 16. And because I didn't know the context, but my reply was, I don't think your pricing should be based on your age. You know, if you're 16 and great, then like charge what a great person would charge. If you're 47 and terrible, then charge what a terrible person should charge. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, I'm gonna quit talking, let you talk. But let me say this: I think the other side of it is, I think some people try to fix all their problems, their whole broken business, by going up $5 on everybody, and you can't fix everything by going up on $5, because some businesses are just so broken, they're in debt up their eyeballs, or they're so. I did a video one time that efficiency was more important than pricing, and what I'm saying is not that pricing is not important, but if you're driving literally all over town, I mean in Detroit, drive all over in the traffic to go mow a $40 yard, it doesn't matter if you charge them $50 or $60, you still got a broken business. I mean, so you know, it's not the fix all. It does, pricing doesn't fix everything. You know what I'm saying? So I really try to get 20 yards in the same neighborhood. And if I'm $2 cheaper than somebody else, I still feel like I'm killing them at the end of the day on profit margins.
So how long have you been doing it, and how long did it take you to realize this stuff and tilt the fulcrum in your favor to where now it's way more efficient and profitable? Like, What are some of the things that you went through, and what are some of the ahas that you had? And I see all your comments in the chat right now, everybody.
I didn't. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Are we supposed to be answering those?
No. It's totally fine. We'll get to the comments like towards the end, but I just want to let everybody know that I acknowledge them and that we see them.
I see them. I mean, if I click on them, it doesn't come up. I don't know if it's streaming to my channel or not, but whatever. But it was actually kind of backed into it. I didn't really figure it out, Keith. I had that first business where I was just mowing grass, and somebody approached me my 5th year and wanted to buy my business and made me a really good offer, so I sold it. But I kept a small portion of it. And then I kept that for like 2 years, and then we moved a couple hours away. So I sold that, and then I started my third business, and the third one was definitely better as far as pricing goes. But honestly, when I started, like really, I didn't figure it out. It kind of just happened, and then hindsight, I was like, hey, this is better than it used to be. So I sold this third business. I had gotten up to about 480 customers, spraying yards and all that, and I had like 2 trucks running. One was part-time, then I was doing full-time. And I was just like, I either got to go big or shrink back down. And I decided to shrink back down. Well, when I shrunk back down, I basically, got rid of a lot of yards that were on the outskirts of my route. And so I shrunk back down, and all of a sudden my route was so much tighter. And I just noticed like, whoa, I'm making way more money than I was. Not obviously I'd sold off a bunch of customers, so my revenue was down, but day I was making so much more. And this is the other thing, Keith, and you might have some thoughts on this, but I quit letting the customer. I always acted like I was in control of my business, but I really wasn't. So I finally started standing up to the customers, and it was fertilizing, and same with mowing, like if you're going to that neighborhood every Thursday and they don't want to have it cut on Thursday, it's like, oh, I'm not coming back like Monday. It's going to be the next Thursday. I'm not making a special trip for you. And I quit doing that. I used to fertilizing yards that had like 20 yards in one neighborhood. And I would go to that neighborhood literally like 5 times to do 20 yards. And I'm like, why am I not doing all 20 on the same day? And now it's like, all 20 of you, this is the one day I'm coming to your neighborhood and I'm doing fertilizer. I'll be back in 7 weeks. So if you get skipped today, I'll see you in 7 weeks, And when I did that, I mean, it was like, instead of making 5 trips to the neighborhood, literally trying to figure out my schedule, like when should I go that one? Now I just I've literally got them on a list and I just go down the list. I mean, I'm like highlighting them off the list, and it's so easy. And they're in order of the order to do them. And there's no like driving back to that same neighborhood. I mean, I'm like, did them all one day.
I don't know why. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah.
Am I nice and loud and clear?
Yeah.
Because I had to turn my headphones down. For those of you listening on the Untrapped podcast on Apple and Spotify, what up, though? And real quick, so we're streaming live right now on my YouTube channel at Keith Kelfis, but also I have another channel called the Untrapped podcast. So if these kind of long form content don't do very well here, you can watch them in their entirety on the Untrapped podcast YouTube channel, or just go back and listen to them. But I was laughing because I imagine I saw this, you ever out landscaping or doing lawns and you see a tree with this huge beehive on it. I imagine you sticking your hand in and grabbing a bunch of honey one time and getting stung a bunch versus having to come back 5 times to the same thing. And I was thinking about that. Same with on one individual specific job you can go down to. So we do property maintenance. We just left a job an hour ago. So now I'm here. You could take a wheelbarrow and make a mobile toolkit, and you put the shrub trimmers, the backpack blower, the hand tools, everything inside of one wheelbarrow, and go from garden bed to garden bed. So you're not running back and forth to the truck. You can put your Gatorade in there, put your headphones on. Or if you've got a lawn, if you got a whole complex, you can literally put the weed whip right on the mower. If there's spots you only have to touch trim. There's so many things you could do to be more efficient. So but you said you got to the point where you started really running your business. This is the aha I'm talking about, where you called the shots. Did you have to wait till the suffering and frustration got so bad that you were willing to throw in the towel? Or did you do you know what I'm saying? Before you made these decisions? Well, because you were afraid they weren't going to work, or you would have made them sooner?
I just don't think I realized how inefficient I was. I thought I got 480 customers, which is about what I had, and run around with me and one guy just working 2 days a month or something helped me. I was like, man, I'm getting 480 yards a day. But it started to weigh on me. I was working 6 days a week, a lot of time trying to do YouTube and all that stuff. And it just started weighing on. That's why I said, you know what, I'm going to shrink back down. And when I said, I didn't know how much shrinking back down was going to free me up and then get more efficient. And then not letting the customers, we all talk about this, but it's so not getting paid, for instance. It's how many times does a customer have to pay me late before I tell them you're no longer my customer? Somebody literally 14 times in a row, I had to text them to pay their bill. And you think, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I had one recently that actually got me. Most of those kind of people, I either tell them prepay for the year or credit card on file and all that. Well, I have one that happened to me just the other day. This guy was my next door neighbor. And I helped him start a lawn business several years ago. He's older than I am, but I helped him get his mower and not buy it for him. But, he's like, what mower should I get? What trailer should I get? We get him all set up. He starts mowing. I'm sending him customers. This about 5 years ago. Well, I sprayed his yard or fertilized something last summer. And I gave him a real cheap price. Anyway, I still hadn't got paid. Probably 7 months go by. I text him, call him, all that. And it's we were sort of friends and next door neighbors. Well, he texted me the other day. He said, hey, I've had some rough times. I want to pay you for that actually, you want to pay me double. I'm going to pay you double for that, for it taking so long. And I was like, no, you don't got to do that. I said, just let me come out and treat it one more. He was telling me his yard wasn't looking good. Because I quit treating it. I was like, I ain't going back. Well, anyway, he said, I'll pay you double. I said, well, you don't have to pay double for the last one. Let me just come out and do a second treatment. Then you can pay me for the 2 treatments, And he's like, oh yeah, that's great. I text him the invoice. He said, I got the invoice, you know. He's, I'll pay you next week. Well, so I go back out and spray his yard. And then it's been like 3 weeks later and he still ain't paid me. And I texted him yesterday, no reply. I called him, no reply. And I'm thinking, now on this one, I'm not like super mad about it. I don't think that's like the high character thing to do is for him to do me that way. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But if it's just somebody I don't know at all, like
I was expecting you to say you went back with Roundup in the middle of the night and sprayed
a
special treat on his lawn.
You know, I don't know what's going on.
You should never do that.
I don't know what's going on. I don't really know his story, you know. But I mean,
good.
You know,
yeah,
I think even if he pays me, I'm probably done with him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, buddy, you got me on this. You got me on this one. You not only didn't pay me the first time, you talked me into coming back and then didn't pay me again. And he's somebody I knew, but like people do people that way. And for whatever reason, and this maybe go back to the know your worth. And I think it's just this mindset of what a lawn care person is. I think maybe culture for so many years has talked so low about us, and we almost start to believe it, that we let people do us that way all the time. I mean, could people get consistently done that way? I mean, it happened to me once in a blue moon. But anyway, I had another guy the other day, and he didn't pay. I've been talking to him about putting a card on file. He didn't want to do that, so I let him. I said, well, okay, you just prepay before I'd seen the invoice the day before. Well, he was paying, and then he got where he wouldn't pay and prepay, but I'd still send it to him after, and he'd eventually pay. Well, this time didn't prepay. I went to the yard. A month goes by, still ain't paid. Now he's not responding to text. And I thought, you know what I would have normally done was like he finally pays, and I'd be all right, he's good. Let's start back. And now I'm thinking, you know what? Even if he pays, I think we're done. Like, you pay me, we're done. You don't pay me, we're still done. You know, it's like I'm done with it. Because I tell myself all the time, like, I only want good customers. If I got 4 customers, they're all good. If I got 400, they're all good. But I don't want 400 and only 399 are good anymore. I want all of them to be good. If you're a pain, I'm done with you.
So this is exactly, you realize your worth and you get paid what you're worth because you realize your worth, and then you're not afraid to say no to customers. It's this saying I love, the ability to hear no and speak no. Hear no and say no with no residue.
Yeah.
Hey, but can you come back Tuesday and do this thing? No. You want to know why?
I started turning down the like a lady just called a while ago, and I'm really not trying to take on too many yards. And the ones I take on, I want to be like a tiny little square with one tree in the middle of them. Those are the ones I love. They're 2 minutes from my house. Well, she called, and she's in a neighborhood I actually do want some yards in. But it's got some huge hilly yards, and it's got some little bitty flat yards with one tree in the middle. And I basically asked in a nice way, are you on the huge hilly yard or the little bitty yard with a tree in the middle? And she said, it's a large yard. And I just said, okay, I'm really not interested. And she wasn't offended at all. You know, sometimes they get offended, but I'm only even giving a quote to probably 1 out of 5 people that call me, you know, because if you're not like in that neighborhood I want to be in, then I'm just not interested. But I'm not trying to like super grow aggressive and have 12 crews, you know.
Wow.
I just changed. Put a price on your sanity, Keith. Like, what's your sanity worth? How many times have I driven 20, 30 minutes to go give somebody a price, and you go out there and measure it, tell them how great you are, and tell them what an expert you are, and give them a good price, and they say, well, thank you, I'm gonna get 6 or 8 more quotes, you know, and I walk away. I'm like, I just wasted an hour of my time driving out here, driving back, giving you a quote. And then I said, if you'd have told me he's going to get 6 quotes, I'd have never even come, you know.
You see this gray in my beard? That's where you're talking about it right now.
That's right, Keith. But again, you're the one that learned that know your worth thing. And I think that's why small business owners, it's almost, and I'm not big in like psychology or whatever, but you almost need like a counselor or a psychologist or somebody to convince you that you are worth something, because we believe we're great, but then we let the customer talk to us like we're trash and put up with it.
Man, you're so awesome. I sat in my truck in front of the job site for I think 20 minutes recording and re-recording my new voicemail greeting for the business line. So It goes, well, it used to be, hi, this is you've reached Kelfus Professional Services. We do landscaping, tree trimming, and window cleaning in Shelby Township, Macomb, and surrounding areas. We're currently out taking care of a customer.
If you are looking for the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, and track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. If you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith, and after the trial, if you decide to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith.
Or on a project working. So please leave a very detailed message and we'll get back with you promptly. It worked great. And I got it so I sound happy, but sound professional. And then that was like that for like 2 years. But I re-recorded it today and it says, hi, you've reached Kelfus Professional Services. We do residential, landscaping, property maintenance, and ornamental tree trimming and window cleaning. This is the main services that we offer in Sterling Heights, Shelby, Macomb Township. We have a $700 job minimum for any property maintenance and a $250 minimum for any window cleaning, and we do not clean interior windows. If this doesn't apply to you, please hang up now. But if it does apply to you, please leave us a very detailed message. And I also said that we have a strict 6-mile radius within Lakeside Mall. Everybody knows there's a mall over here. It's like, and it's like, so like we do this, this is our job minimum. And then also if we do go inside of houses at all, it's a strict $500 minimum to go inside of anybody's house. So I have customers and clients calling, and it's just like, even regular clients. And the craziest thing is they're saying yes. And man, it's like you have to get to, for me, it's a more of an emotional decision. I get to the point where I'm so pissed off and I'm pacing around the house in front of my wife saying I can't do this anymore. Like, because when you crunch all the math and the numbers of what it takes you to run your business with payroll taxes and workers' comp and the marketing and everything, and have a secretary answer the phone and have a bookkeeper and an accountant and to make sure it's all right and everybody, I'm crunching the math. And last year, for a couple of years, it was the year before last year was a $312.50 minimum that we kept putting it up mathematically. And after the drive time in between the jobs, and then there's lunchtime and setting up and breaking down and dealing with the administrative of talking to each customer, it eats up your overhead. I was like, why is my profit margin on this job? Was it only at 9% profit margin when it should be more like 50% gross profit margin on anything, or you can't take the job? What's eating it up? It's all these other things. So, but anyways, I don't want to take over this. I just you got me triggered, bro, talking about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, the window cleaning, I would imagine that there's probably such a huge variation in pricing from what they can get somebody for $50 or $500. And so I had a lawn company, a local guy here, they're huge. And they said they basically have a $400 minimum, a monthly minimum for lawn maintenance, and that just weeds out so many people. And when you get somebody that's willing to pay $400 or $700, whatever, at that point, they're not so much worried about the money as much as they just want it done right. So it solves you a lot of problems.
Now, this doesn't come with anybody here that's watching that's really new. Maybe you're brand new or you're in your first 2 years in the business. Some of this information will be like, what? It could literally make you go out of business. Like Jason and I have been in our businesses for well over a decade and have just gotten to the point where we could be more picky and choosy because our name's out there, the phone's ringing more. If you have longer customers that are your clientele, you always have that base, and then you can start to experiment and take some risk and say, hey, maybe I can narrow my service area a little. Maybe we can raise the prices. How can we be more efficient here? For me, the risk doesn't come without first getting extremely uncomfortable. So, man.
This is my 16th year, and I've had 3 lawn businesses. All 3 times worked a part-time job to try to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to fail that first year, and so I think that's important. I mean, one time I was working with a friend of mine who was mowing grass. So I was out there. I was trying to get my own mowing business going, but I was working with him 1 or 2 days a week, just running a trimmer. And then anyway, I was the first one too. I was driving food delivery, like a little cheapo steak restaurant. You could drive around, deliver steaks and potatoes and all that. They weren't that good and getting terrible tips. But yeah, I was saying I was doing that night to make up for while I was getting my business going. So I agree with you. To me, you just make it. You just got to get through that first year. I mean, whatever you got to do. And then obviously over time, I think people, the first year, it's like, how do I get business? But after that, usually it becomes getting customers is not the challenge. It's getting the right customers and being profitable, because so many people got tons of work and don't make any money. The first year, you're like, I just got to get customers. So I wouldn't blame somebody the first year going out there doing whatever you have to do, gutter cleaning and have 12 different things on your business card. But eventually, I don't think that's a great strategy.
Mm-mm. Guys, somebody said in the comments, Keith, you keep freezing and lagging. Can everybody see and hear me clear on your end? And I also want to get to some of your comments here. I like to have my guest read the comments. So let's go up here. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can
Jason?
see it. And on my end, it's freezing a little bit, but it's just getting a little bit blurry. But now it looks great. So I don't know.
And make sure that the Wi-Fi is off on my.
Okay. You may have 7. I don't know how it was set up. Green Up Lawn Care says, "What up, Doe?" So I guess that's a positive thing. 4 p.m. Let's get it. Jason the man. All right, Aaron. Thank you. Hey guys, from Bruner Lawn and Landscape.
Yeah.
We can't see the push-ups. The common sense expert said he did them. He was huffing and puffing when he got done. I think you did them. He gonna do push-ups for super chats, man. He probably will.
Oh, bro, I gotta have a push-up cam. Yeah, I'm gonna get a different angle and then have push-up cam. Then me and my guests will go live. We'll have to do push.
Yeah, there you go. Let me scroll down. Oh, now he's saying those were weak push-ups. He couldn't see them, but they were weak. It was a different person said he couldn't see.
No, dude, when I do push-ups, I go all the way down, all the way up, right? And I squeeze, and then I pump my legs. My knees go all the way to my chest, so they're like burpee push-ups. I learned them from Sean G Motivation on YouTube. Man, that guy had me out of breath when we worked out one time on Instagram Live. Okay.
Andy said lawn push-ups. Brent W says, "What's up, guys?" Common Sense says, "What's up, guys?" Nobody asks any questions on your channel. They just tell you what's up and everything. I get all these questions about how do I kill this weed in my grass, and I live in Canada or something. Jason's the most laid-back guy for sure.
Green Up Lawn Care.
Guys, hit that thumbs up button when you're in here. It will get this out to more people that can help. Thank you for that.
Yeah, can everybody hit the thumbs up and the heart and the like button? Pop, 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 pop. Everybody hit it like 20 times a piece. See what happens.
Back to work, but I got you on the headphones. Big mulch job today from Bruner Lawn and Landscape.
What's up, bro?
How many lawns a day is ideal from Dr. Rick with his Scooby-Doo Shaggy character? I think that depends on what you're doing. I mean, I can do about 20 a day on average doing like weed control, but they're little and they're close and it's easy and all that. If I was mowing the yard, it's going to depend size of lawn, big, little, whatever. But what I was saying is I'd rather do 20 and I can do 300 yards on 2 tanks of gas, because I just don't drive hardly anywhere, so if I can get 20 and put like 8 miles on my truck and then come back home at 3 o'clock, I like that.
So you just when you talk, you cut all the fat just now and went right down to if I could do 20 and put 8 miles on my truck and be home by 3 o'clock, I like that.
Well, instead of doing 22 and driving all over Birmingham, which is where I live, in traffic, I'd come home pulling a trailer with high blood pressure and I'm driving on these. That just gets old. I'm sure where you live, that there's areas that are just traffic's terrible. I just quit going to those places. Hey guys, love what you do. Check out the Clean Breeze collection. Mark and Digger love this product. I'm not familiar with the Clean Breeze collection. Yes, it's streaming on your channel. I think he's talking to me that's on my channel, so that's good. What up, y'all, from Travis Darty. Hope I said your name right.
Yeah, dog.
Keep in mind, Keith, you remind me of Stanley the Dirt Monkey. He looks like he could be your brother.
Dude, he's awesome. We're about to go to Minnesota in a couple of months and hang out with him.
Yeah, I like to go to Stan's house because he's got like, I mean, at one time I was on here with him doing something. He pulls a flying squirrel out of his shirt pocket or something. He just does some crazy stuff.
Yeah, he has a flying squirrel, and like it ran up my sleeve and hung out under my shirt and popped out. I'll post it on Instagram again sometime, just hanging out on the top of my shirt. And then I was like, this is amazing. It's a flying squirrel. Then it went down on my hand and started nibbling and grooming my cuticles on my nails. I'm like, what the hell? Stan's like, oh, it's cool. He'll groom you. I'm like, okay. And then it hurt. But anyways, it was awesome, bro. A flying squirrel.
Sounds like he needs to read the book, Your First Year in the Landscaping Business. LOL. I am recognizing his story.
That's my book on audible.com. For those of you in your first year in the landscaping business, so listen to that on audible.com.
Did you narrate it yourself, or did you get someone else to narrate it?
No, I did it all myself.
I prefer when the author narrates it because, I mean, it just to me sounds more authentic because they know what they're trying to say and the tone and all that.
Yes, sir.
Keith, you keep freezing and lagging. You might, I don't know if you're in like 1080p. If you maybe put it on 720, it might do better.
Oh, you're right, dude. That's a good idea, what you're saying. I wonder if I can
You might could do it midstream. Go to settings here. Let's see. Settings, camera.
I just did it. I put it down to 720p.
Were you in 1080?
Yeah.
Okay, mine's in 720, and it's all right. We'll see how it does.
Thanks, man. Good tip.
All right, a big hey y'all from North Houston, Southern Reliable Lawn Care. Thank you all for getting together and spreading your knowledge. All right, got a lot of comments on here. Let's see. I'm on now, but looking into spraying yards, but not sure where to start or what to get. You know, that's going to depend on where you live. I mean, I mostly deal with warm season grass. So when somebody asks me about cool season turf, I just not much help. But it's one of those things that's so regional a lot of times that it is helpful to find somebody local or at least somewhere in your geographic area because they're going to be familiar with the weeds and the weather patterns and all. You know, if you lived up north, almost everything I use, you can't use on cool season turf. So it would be a problem. You know, so you need if you're a cool season guy, you need to find somebody that's a cool season guy. If you're a warm season guy, then find somebody that's warm season.
I love it.
All right. Anthony says that is effed up to ask for service and don't pay for it. How rude. I agree. About to push mow my yard. Just want to stop by and say hello. Thunderstruck.
What up, though?
I have customers like that now. Lawrence G.G. McDowell. Get rid of him. I guess they're referring to my story that I was sharing earlier. Mental health is first before other human needs. Hey, I tell you, no joke about that. It does wear on. Being a small business owner can be tough, and being like a influencer or YouTuber, well, that wears on you too. So I agree. I wouldn't say. I mean, you can classify a lot of things as mental health, but you working all the time, just nonstop and not taking time for anything else, I would say that's a bad mental health recipe.
I am doing an experiment real quick because you said doing social media and YouTube does wear on you. If there's anybody listening to this or watching this, and for some reason, maybe you secretly have thought about wanting to do YouTube or wanting to become what they call an influencer and stuff like that. You see these guys doing all this online, and some of these guys even monetize and make money off it. Like I make money on YouTube. If any of that stuff interests you, put the word framework in the comments. And if not, just no big deal. I was just curious. All right.
I've heard, Keith, that now kids in high school, that their number one job they want to be is an influencer. Like that's what they want to do now.
That's kind of scary to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying.
because people watch social media and they look and they say, oh, that's cool. Like, look at like any of these influencers, Logan Paul, but it's almost so because you're watching it on the screen. Like, think about it like I don't think a YouTuber is anything like an actor, but
Looking to maximize your production in the field? Ballard Products has over 300 products that can help you get the most out of your efforts every day. Ballard Products. Whether you are looking to get a better cut, keep your gear on your machine, keep your expensive equipment clean and safe, or just get the most out of your machines, Ballard has you covered. Ballard Products. Jump onto our easy-to-use updated website at ballard-inc.com to get your gear ordered today. Keep grinding. Stay safe. And have a great season. Ballard. Make sure to use the code Keith10 to save 10% on our full line of gear. That's
when
Keith10.
I was younger, I used to want to do acting and all that stuff. And man, do you know how hard these people's jobs are? And most of them don't make any money at all. And they're on set 12, 14 hours a day, sleeping in hotel rooms. Like, I don't know. It's a whole other topic. It's so much work. I know with my YouTube channel, I work on job sites all day and talk to customers while filming, come home, eat dinner, kiss my wife, and then edit videos till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then wake up in the middle of the night and work, and have been doing this for years until I built a social media team to help me do it all. But dude, it was burning the candle at both ends. It felt impossible. So
yeah, I had to finally start outsourcing some of that stuff because it does wear on you.
Oh yeah.
James says, I try to do quotes over the phone as much as possible. Yeah, James, I agree with that. Like, I started measuring yard. Like, most of the weed control fertilization is priced by the size of the yard, and especially if it's in a neighborhood I'm really familiar with, and I know, like, all those yards look pretty much the same. I can measure it and give them a price over the phone. But the only tricky part about that for me, sometimes if I'm not familiar with the neighborhood or just not sure if every house is not the same, I can measure it on there, but I can't see hills on there unless sometimes I'll Google it and I'll find some real estate listing where it kind of shows me the contour of the land, because we have a little bit of hilly area here and I don't really want hilly yards. And then also I can't see the weeds in the yard. So if it's mowing, you're just mowing grass, that's fine. But I want to, like, does this yard have like such horrible, terrible weeds that I know I can't really get rid of anytime in the next 4 years? Then I don't want that yard anymore. That's a project for somebody else. But I agree. I do way more quotes over the phone now than I used to.
I love it.
Does anyone watch How To with Doc? I'm familiar with, I don't watch it regular, but I know the channel you're talking about. He's like he's like homeowner weed control and that sort of thing. And his channel gets a lot of views. What up, Doe? From YMG Landscaping. Is that what you say that all the time, Keith? Because everybody keeps saying that.
Yeah, I some people say it's a Detroit thing. I don't know. I've been saying it forever.
Really?
What up, Dow?
You said something to me. I forget.
Like, I'll see Brian Fullerton after not seeing him for like 6 months in person, and the first thing I said, "What up, Dow?" And he goes, "What up, Dow?"
Oh, he says it too. Okay.
Maybe he says it just to make fun of me, but I have a shirt that says "What up, Dow." I just don't. It's
Okay.
like.
I was looking for what you said to me. I forget what it was.
Oh, I said something to you. What up,
you just said. Well, you said, "See you in an hour and a half, homie." You just called me. I couldn't remember what it was. Let's see. What up, though? Big Dog. All right.
Dog.
And Total Tech. Hi, y'all. How are you all? We're doing great.
We're getting to your comments.
Thank you. Bill says he can hear us. That's good. You guys are both great. This is good stuff. If only we learn these lessons the first time we encounter the problem. That's Scott Pippen. All right. CBC Concrete is in the house. There you go. You get a wide range of people that watch your, like, concrete people. You know what I'm saying? I think you kind of appeal to a broader audience.
Interesting.
Hello from Southeast Michigan. What part of Michigan are you in? I'm not a good Michigan geography student.
20 miles north of Detroit, in Metro Detroit. It's in a huge city called Sterling Heights, and it's the Tri-City area that I live in north of Detroit, which is like, well, the Tri-County area. There's Macomb Township, Oakland Township, frickin' Wayne County, Anyways, we're in a mega metropolis, bro. There's
Yeah.
traffic and shopping malls and plazas and restaurants. There's so much going on, and I'm wait, two blocks away from the busiest street in all of Michigan, in this mega metropolis. So if I literally drive 2 blocks in rush hour, I guess it would take me literally a half an hour just to get across the street.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Is that on that main part of Michigan or that other little thing y'all got?
What do you mean?
Like on Michigan, you got that little peninsula thing up there on the right, and then you got the main part.
Oh, the mitten?
Yeah. We don't have
That's funny because we all think of it in terms of a mitten because growing up in school, they always go the Michigan mitten. So there's the thumb.
Okay. But
yeah,
you're
so
on the glove. You're not on the thumb, are you?
Yeah, well, actually, we're down like in the part of the palm right here. So
Yeah.
if right inside of the crease of the thumb. But we go up to the tip of the thumb. That's what we call up north, and there's beautiful lakes, and we get Airbnbs up there. But yeah, we're down in the mate. Just
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
I got you.
I need to give shorter answers, man.
You both awesome. Good luck this season. Corey Ballard might not be able to do a push-up. I don't know. I think Corey could do 3 or 4 push-ups. That's from Bill Hull.
You know, it's funny. I never ever pitch our affiliates on here. Are you a Jobber affiliate? What's your Jobber?
No, I'm actually with Yardbook.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were with Jobber. Wait, I saw you saying Jobber a long time ago. So
well, yeah, Jobber. I think I like Jobber. They had sponsored some of my events and stuff, but I've been a Yardbook user. But I think Jobber's great too. I've been with Yardbook for a long time, and they've never given me any reason to switch from them. They think they're great also. 2 good options.
I love it. I think it's because I just picked up this marker and it said Jobber on it. So that's what made me think of that.
Okay.
So if you need a software in your business, go to getjobber.com/Keith and get a free 2-week trial. If you sign up with my link, you get my exclusive discount, getjobber.com/Keith. He just mentioned Corey Ballard Products. Promo code Keith10 during checkout saves you 10% in your checkout cart. And when is your next live event, Jason Creel?
Well, I just actually we're just kind of announcing it, sort of. So I haven't done one since the last time you came, which was in January of 2020. So right before the world shut down and all that. But we're doing one February of 2024. So next February. So it's been a 4-year lapse there. And I'm bringing in Paul Jameson is partnering with me on this as far as putting it on. So we'll see. Paul's he lives down here, and he's just well connected with lots of people. So
Paul was on the podcast a couple weeks ago. It was awesome, bro. And I was on the phone with him the other day for like half an hour. He's so cool.
Yeah, I don't like partnerships like for business and stuff in general, and even for this, but I thought in this situation, like me and Paul have kind of 2 distinct roles, and I think he'll bring a lot of energy to it. He's great MC and stuff and all. That's just not my specialty. And but anyway, yeah, we're doing something February 23rd, 24th of 2024, and if you want to, it's $197 for a ticket. It's Friday night and all day Saturday, and all the meals included, and then it's down here close to Birmingham. So
Birmingham, Alabama.
lawncarelife.com. There's a link that says conference, and that's where we're still working on the hype video and the promo video and all that stuff.
Well, I love it. Maybe here you sell some more tickets and more people can, especially if they're in the area. Yeah. Birmingham, Alabama, lawncarelife.com events, February 2024. Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. All right, Scott Pippen says, not getting paid, not charging enough, bad employees, walking all over us, gray hair. That sums up a lot of what we've been talking about. Hobby Turf says, hello, guys. Nice to see you. Hey, Jason, have you seen if fertilizer prices are starting to come down? So I have heard that they are. I bought my fertilizer end of the year, but I've heard a lot of the raw materials are coming down. I'm not saying down to where they were 2-3 years ago. They're still high. I got some fertilizer for like $50 a bag this year, which is kind of high when you buy lots of bags like I do. But It's part of it. But yeah, I've heard they're trending downward. So that's good news. My first year, 42 customers, 4 commercial, and phone is ringing off the hook and don't want to grow too fast, but also don't want to miss any opportunities. What should I do? Wow, that's if you're talking about literally like 2023, you've already got 42 customers. That's pretty good if you just started your business. You know, I mean, that'd be pretty decent if you already had an existing business. Well, Keith, why don't you answer that? I got some thoughts, but what do you think?
Travis Doherty says, my first year, 42 customers, 4 are commercial, and phone is ringing off the hook, and don't want to grow too fast, but also don't want to miss any opportunities. What should I do? Advice? That was a good laugh. All right. Well, looking at your profile pic, it looks like your dad, which you probably want to be home in time, because I'm probably the wrong person to give advice, because I worked 100 hours a week and almost destroyed my marriage. I don't have any children, and I didn't then. And I just got rid of any thoughts or remnants of a personal life. And I worked 7 days a week constantly to grow the business as fast as possible to get it past 100K, because I was scared shitless and had debt collectors calling me. And, yeah, man, I think throw as much activity at the wall, throw as much mud at the wall as you possibly can and see what sticks. If you have a ton of opportunity, you know, some people say do it all, but man, I really think that you should do it all and do everything you can and just work like 12 to 14 hours a day and do that for about 90 days until it gets so unbearable that you're forced to start cutting the fat and carving out what doesn't work. Because in that time period, if this is your first year, the lessons that you're going to learn while being in the trenches and under the fire with that amount of pressure on you are going to make you have a nervous breakdown, which is beautiful. But you know, they're gonna teach you invaluable lessons, and you're gonna get like a master's degree at this a lot faster than most people if you've got that many customers that fast. And then also, I wouldn't make any definite promises, but I don't know, if you're growing that fast, it might be already time to bring on a part-time employee. And so you can spend the time chit-chatting with the customers and collecting the invoices and the money, because sometimes customers will take up a lot of your time. And if you have that other guy working with you, he can continue the weed whipping and the edging and doing the blowing and putting all the equipment back in the truck. That was my issue, is I trained my employees to keep going and tidy up the whole truck, blow everything down. So when I'm done wrapping up with that customer, all I got to do is hop in the truck and turn the key. We all end up in the truck at the same exact time, and we go to the next job. So you want to get as much of that pressure off you as possible so you can maintain selling. And then look at it like a fulcrum. Like I say, expand the top as you dissolve the bottom. So expand the top and dissolve the bottom. Once you're making, once you hit that, I don't know, hit about 8,000 a month in revenue, it'll become abundantly clear what the next move is to make. And so yeah, that's what I got to say. I hope that helped. That was a lot.
I thought that was great.
Thanks.
You're lagging, but Jason looks fine. I think it's doing better. I only noticed maybe one time since you switched over, so I think you're good, Keith.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking I can go into the camera resolution and downgrade it even more.
What happened to your weed control program? I couldn't find it when I clicked on the link. If he's talking to me, I guess. Yeah, it should be there, lawncarelife.com, and there's Weed Control and Fertilization Academy. I think I'll look as I type here, Weed Control and Fertilization Academy. Enroll now and learn how to make more money. You click on that and you can buy it. So it's definitely there, lawncarelife.com. 2 clicks.
Go to lawncarelife.com. Oh, you got the weed control program for sale. Is it an online like an info product?
Yeah, it's like a video course, and it comes all these programs. That's kind of my. But I will say it's mostly for warm season grasses. I have people say, "Well, I'm in Ohio," so I just tell them, I say I wouldn't recommend buying it because it's not going to be very. I mean, I'm serious. I don't want to take somebody's money. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't buy it. It's not the best program for you. You need to find somebody local that can help you with cool season grasses.
I have a program called the Business Marketing Blueprint, and sometimes people buy it and I could see everybody's progress inside of my my website of how much the content they consumed. And some people will buy it and they won't consume at all. They'll consume like sometimes like 30% of the content. Maybe they just got in and they found what they need and they left. But I'm like, oh, like because I can't control if somebody watches, but like that program specifically will teach you how to get the positive 5-star reviews on Google, how to do everything. And it's like it's a 6 hours of content. And it's like, it's just, well, if you're newer in the business, it'll upgrade your whole shit, man. It's like, but it pisses me off when people, anyways.
Jill's office provides friendly, professional receptionists for small business owners just like you. We can help answer your calls, and we can even schedule estimates and jobs for you. Try Jill's office today and get a $25 discount when you say Untrapped. Just go to jillsoffice.com.
If you want I have a free PDF download, 7 steps to marketing your business online, so you get more customers and clients. KeithKelfis.com/7 steps. KeithKelfis.com/7 steps, and you get the free PDF download. Just type it in your browser.
Your question, you get so many comments on it. It's crazy. That guy said, I asked the question, LOL. Total Tech, give us a thumbs up. How is Gracie doing? Gracie needs a treat. Is that one of your dogs?
Yeah, you know, man. I brought my dogs to your event.
Oh, I know. He's gonna bring his dog. You had 2. And one of them I thought was kind of old, maybe not doing that good.
Bro, that dog, the old one, he got younger. I don't know. Like he literally, we brought this little puppy in, and now I got these expensive dog vitamins and stuff, and we got bro, he's sleeping right now, but he's doing good, bro.
Okay, I thought he done had stem cell therapy or something.
Yeah. 20 grand a month. The dog's hooked up to stem cell therapy.
All right. How about write up common contract with each customer, and if they don't pay anything during a service, it automatically terminates contract with said customer and get charged card at signing too. Yeah, I mean for me, I'm only looking at like being out less than $100. If somebody cheats me one service, it's less than $100, and it's not worth all that to me. But yeah, I can see if you were doing some big landscaping job, or you had some other monthly service contract that was hundreds of dollars a month, then I would think that's a pretty good idea, Anthony. Battery equipment, 2-cycle or 4-cycle? Well, I do have some. I see Keith's a Milwaukee toolbox in the back. Milwaukee's giving me a good bit of their battery stuff, and it's actually really good. I've got a push mower, I got a hedge trimmers, pole saw, string trimmers, edgers, all that stuff. So I think for the handheld stuff now, and if I was out working, I still use I like Husqvarna string trimmers, so I use a 2-cycle Husqvarna string trimmer. Blowers, I like Red Max personally. They seem to hold up really well. And those are gas power. But I actually on my truck doing fertilizer, all I might do is throw a few little pellets of fertilizer on somebody's sidewalk, and for that I'll just carry a little handheld Milwaukee battery blower, and that's enough just to blow the pellets off the sidewalk.
Dude, you got the handheld battery Milwaukee blower, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I got 2 of them. Okay, so check this out. Did you know how you could just set it down and it just sits on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
If you look underneath it, there's these 2 plastic, just like little brackets. It's just so you can set it down so it doesn't fall over. Well, this interesting thing is when you pull the trigger on that, there's a little button on the side that makes it stay on like medium or full blast.
Yeah.
But what happens is if you set it down and you turn it on full blast and then tilt it backwards, like on the back end, it'll stay at a 45-degree angle, just shooting up into the air. So like I actually use it all the time. If we I don't know, I have to like blow myself off or go like this.
Yeah.
Get all the particles or clippings off me.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I was so excited. So try it next time you use it.
I did not know that. I just did discover though that the Milwaukee stuff does come with a little space on the back where you can hang it on the wall on a screw or a nail. Yeah, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. So I've got mine kind of neatly displayed in my workshop.
Or if you got we got a steel BR, we got steel BR 700, 800. We got a bunch of steel backpack blowers.
Yeah.
Or you could put that bitch on full blast and just put it in the middle of the street, right? And it'll spin in circles. You could just jump rope that motherfucker.
I was not aware of that. So,
We anyways. Why am I telling you all this?
I don't know. The next question.
I'm excited.
This is for you.
Oh, Ramon Aravalo. Hey Keith, looking to buy a budget good mower, normally 48 or 52-inch mower. Looking at the Radius X Mark E series. I currently have a Toro time cutter 42-inch. I have about 50 customers. What have I used in my day? You know, I started out on way back in the day on standards, and dude, I've used every single mower, but the one I've used the most is all X Mark stuff. So I think I'm only qualified mostly to talk about X Mark. For me, it's definitely X Mark. They're kind of expensive, but they're built like tanks, and I don't know.
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to take. What do you think, man?
Well, I think the Radius is pretty good. I was actually talking because I got friends that mow, all the time. Got a lot of customers, and they're out there running the Radius. And I talked to a Exmark guy the other day that works at Exmark, who's like one of the big shots over there. And he said that. I said, "What about the Radius?" I was telling him that. I said, "A lot of people run these Radius." He said, "Well, they won't hold up to the abuse of the Laser Z, but he said they're fine to cut commercially with and all that, but you just can't have people running them all into everything. They're not. Yeah, it's not. I guess I didn't ask any more details, like if the deck was not quite as heavy gauge steel, or if there's something else why it wouldn't hold to abuse. But anyway, I would say that would be a great choice, honestly, the Radius.
And if you're at 42 inches going up, even to a 48, 52 is always my favorite cut because you could just do everything with it except for tight backyard gates. But we'd use a walk behind. But I have an Exmark Radius X 48-inch riding mower, and the thing is a beast, dude. I love it. It's so fast too. It's like a Cadillac. But yeah, you're gonna have to take the leap and just try it, dog.
I like the 52-inch mower also, as far as business because of versatility. Bill says, "What have you found the best way to advertise to get the right customers?" Well, here's what I do. Now, this may not work for everybody, but if you ask me, I'll tell you. When I moved to a brand new city, I had 3 kids and a 4th one coming, and no customers. And so what I do, I knew as a mowing company that I was constantly getting asked about weed control, and I was trying to start a weed control business. So I went on Facebook in my little local city Facebook group. I live in a town called Trustville, and it was "What's Happening in Trustville" on Facebook. And I started searching the keyword lawn, LAWN. And, it'd be posts on there from 5 years ago, 2 weeks ago, all these posts with somebody saying, "I'm looking for somebody to mow my lawn. I want somebody to spray my lawn. Who do you recommend to do your lawn?" Anything that had the word lawn in it. And what happened was, there's 53 comments on there with every guy out there pulling a truck and a trailer and this doesn't have a website. And so I started calling all these small time mowing companies. And I said, "Hey, I'm Jason. I just moved here. I've been in the lawn business for a while, but I just moved to this town. And I was wondering, who are you sending your weed control and fertilization business to?" Most of them be like, I just send it to big franchise company or whatever. Had basically no connection to anybody. And I said, "Well, I would love to. I'd love to meet you. Maybe we could go to breakfast or something, or I could come spray your yard, or I would love." Sometimes I'd give them $50 for every referral, but I kind of quit doing that. But anyway, I just tried to build a relationship with them. And over the years, now I've got a pretty good many mowing people that send me those referrals. And in turn, I send them the mowing business because I'm not really interested in that anymore. And then the other thing, this is not a short-term answer, but like my website ranks, I'm either number 1 or number 2 in my area. I don't know, but I've gotten so many calls from my website. And again, that's not overnight, but I would say if you want to being in the lawn business for a long time, I would definitely get a website. I wouldn't try, like in Keith's situation, I wouldn't try to be like #1 for lawn care Detroit. It's just too competitive, you know. But if he knows these 3 little or big little towns he works in, like for me, I'm literally just trying to be #1 in my city, you know, and either #1 or #2, and that yields me a lot of phone calls.
So you tap into other people's distribution networks.
Yeah, that's what I did. And then over time, you get all these referrals and stuff. But like initially, I had to get their referrals because it's like, you know, people's like word of mouth, word of mouth. I was like, there's nobody to give me word of mouth referral. I have 0 customers, you know, so I had to get word of mouth from these mowing people. And then now I've got a base and all that, and I do get the word of mouth and all that, but it doesn't start off like that.
I love it. Jose Rincon says, what is the best billing system with new clients?
Well, Keith likes Jobber. So we'll go with Jobber right now. Is that what he's talking about? Or you think he's talking about like having a credit card on file or leaving? You don't want to be like printing off invoices and mailing it to them in the mail and hoping they pay you 4 weeks later. So I would say you got to get paid faster than that.
In our landscaping projects, I like to get paid upon completion. So the moment that job's done,
okay,
or like the guys are cleaning up the job site, I knock on the customer's door and we do the final walk around, and I've got my phone or tablet. The customer does a digital signature, gives me their American Express card. Boom. I get paid right then and there, or they write a check on the spot.
Total Tech gave us the laughing, crying emoji. Scott Pippin says, Keith, got any pointers for my window cleaning startup? I have a minimum charge of $199 and have a water-fed pole so far.
Scott Pippin. Any pointers for a new window cleaning startup? I don't know what you do. Do you do just window cleaning, or do you do landscaping as well? It's throw mud at the wall and see what sticks. I got an entire YouTube channel called the Window Cleaning Blueprint YouTube channel. We just hit like 17,000 subscribers over there. And still getting window cleaning customers is harder than getting landscaping customers because there's a little bit more trust, and you have to build and show what are called trust signals and trust indicators online. You got to have like, you know, a nice website, a Google listing, lots of photos, and just be a little more polished because you're going inside of people's homes. And so you do a lot of go door to door to storefronts and plazas and metropolitan areas and pick up a whole bunch of customers and keep a fat stack of business cards with you. And every single person that walks in and out of these stores, whether you're doing the pizzeria or the nail salon or the restaurant or the chiropractic place, like literally pitch window cleaning to every single person that you see, and then ask every person for a positive 5-star review on Google and do 5 rounds. I could talk about it for 12 hours, and I'm not going to get into it. On my website, keithkelfis.com, if you scroll down, there's a 3 free video training series on how to start a window cleaning business. Go to that, and there's like an hour of free training of everything, exactly how to get your window cleaning business and get a ton of customers fast at keithkelfis.com.
Total Tech gave us a, what is that? I don't know what that was. That little bug or something. That was a squirrel.
Squirrel peanut.
All right, there you go. Keith, I remember that arborist video when you climbed way up in that tree and Stanley was looking at you like, heck no, I'm not getting up in that tree.
That's funny. Yeah, I love climbing trees. I've got all the gear, and my friend William taught me how to do tree work. And I don't know, I go up, 60, 70, 80 feet. And I used to be scared, but now I just trust the gear and I love it. But I've gotten away from doing actual tree work in my business because the cost of insurance is too high. It's like a whole totally different ball game. And so, but I might do something once in a while, but I ain't putting it on YouTube.
YMG Landscaping says hello from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, dog. All right, guys. So we're coming up on an hour here, and I like to be respectful of all your time and my guest time. Oh, look, the Southern Reliable Lawn Care says framework.
Framework.
So
hey, that's that thing you told him to say.
Yeah. Oh, Scott Jennings said framework also. Find me on Facebook or Instagram and send me a DM framework, and I will I'm putting together something where I will actually just give away and show you my framework. It's a proven framework for building an audience online and even monetize it and making money. So you can like literally run your landscape business and also make money. And show other people. So you could be entertaining. There's so much stuff you can do. So
just had a new septic system put in the end of last year. They just put grass seed down. It's coming in already, but it's patchy. Can I just loosen the dirt and seed them spots that are not coming in? Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where you live. I'm assuming with cool season grass, the fall, I believe, is your best time to seed, but then spring is your second best time. And the way somebody explained this to me, this is the only reason I know the answer, I think, because I'm not a cool season guy. We don't really see our grass down here, but in the fall, it has time to sort of get established before you go to the summer, which is the time that stresses the cool season grasses out. And so you think about putting it out in the spring, it doesn't have a lot of time to get mature before it's going to get beat down by the heat from the summer. So yes, you can do it. It's just not as ideal as it would have been in the fall.
Nice. Hey, Jason, I got a quick question for you. When you did your lawn care life event in Alabama in 2020, I brought my wife with me, and she met you and your wife showed my wife some. Next to the event, there was this other like barn or hall, and I didn't get to see it. But my wife, first of all, she's like, Jason and his wife were so nice. They're the nicest people ever. But it's like, but what was this thing? Is there like different event spaces or something?
Well, my in-laws own all that. They're in the wedding business, so they do like, I don't know, 50 to 100 weddings a year, depending on the year. And so they might have 2 weddings going on a Saturday, one on the one side, the other on the other. And so I've had some events over there in the kind of rustic barn thing you're talking about. And then depending on the size number, like this time we're planning on 300 people. So it'll be in the white building because it holds 300 people. With that building over there might hold 150 or so. So some people like it. They like to like have an outdoor wedding. There's a lot of acreage, and then they'll do the reception in that building, something like that. So that's what that is.
I love it. Okay, we're about to wrap this up. See how many comments they're just coming in, tons of comments. Do you want to go a few more minutes, or do you want to wrap up? I want to be respectful of your time, bro.
Maybe scroll and find some of the better ones. We'll do a few more minutes.
All right.
Like one guy said that silver play button was dough or something like that.
Silver play button. Oh, behind me. Yeah, I finally got my YouTube silver play button. So
I got mine last year. So
you should put a necklace and wear it around your neck like a necklace.
Yeah. I'm on the slow pay. It took me over 10 years.
Well, dude, you got it though. Nobody can take it from you.
Yeah.
Steve DeHunt, property evaluation is critical.
Best zero turn for south. I'm not sure it matters where you live necessarily, but yeah, I mean, I like X. I mean, there's a lot of good brands. I have some brands that I don't want, but when I was in business, what I would do, I would think of like 4 or 5 brands that I knew I was okay with, and then I would try to find one that an old man owned and kept in his garage that had like 150 hours on it, and it was 6 years old and looked brand new and was half the price. And I would try, if it was in my 4 or 5 brands I was okay with, I would go buy that one, because I think it's like if you decide like I can only have a certain automobile and it's got to be green and it's got to have then I mean you're gonna pay top dollar because you've narrowed your window so limited that so I'm like I'll take one of this or this or this or this, and 48, 52 I can work with either one of those, and I was looking for low hours and making money.
Yeah, dog.
All right, the Lawn Care General. I don't think I've heard of any of these people. You got a whole different audience than I have.
Well, everybody go check out Jason Creel on YouTube and say what up, though. Lawn Care Life. That's your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, if they say what up, though, I know they came from you.
If they say what up, though, They know they came from
Yeah,
over here.
I don't think I've ever heard a single person say that in Alabama. Not one time.
Have
So
you
you're
ever even
saying
heard
that's
what
like-
up though?
I don't think I've ever heard anybody here in my state say that. So you're saying you're not the only one that says that that's a normal thing?
We were freaked out. Well, yeah, this is like a normal thing from like maybe 20 years ago. So
Okay.
I don't know. I just say it because I think it's funny.
It didn't travel south very well. I don't know why. So no, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I just never have heard it.
Like I have a friend here who's a rapper and he has a song called What Up Doe, and I cannot repeat the words. I actually produced it when we used to do music. I produced like 2 of his albums. It was amazing. So when we come down to Alabama, like we're freaked out, especially in the South, because you can literally just go through a coffee shop or in a gas station and the people are just nice, and they look in your eyes and they say, hello, how are you doing today? Thank you. And we're like, whoa, like what planet are we on? And if you don't know what I mean, it's because everybody's nice, and people here in Michigan are just like in a hurry. What can I do for you? Okay, next.
Yeah, I think it might be the part of Michigan you live in and the part of Alabama I live. I think I could probably take you some non-nice places here, and I'm sure there's somebody nice in Michigan.
Dude, you're such a cool guy that even when you say something, you say it in a nice way. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's wrap this up, guys. Thanks so much, Jason Creel. I honor and I respect you, acknowledge you, bro. Thank you so much for being on the Untrapped podcast. This will also be on Apple and Spotify in a couple of weeks. You can listen to it there if you missed anything. And any final words you want to say, bro?
No, I don't think so. But I do think I'll just repeat what I said earlier. I think if you're in business, it is really about as much mental as it is physical. Like you got to keep going. There's always ups and downs and all that, but you got to press through because it can get easier the further you go on, but it can be tough. So you gotta control the voices in your head because they get to you sometimes.
The voices in your head, 100%. All right, guys, crush it. Don't be afraid to raise your prices. Crunch the math in your business, and we're your community. We're all right here. So if you need help, reach out. Peace. Hey, I hope you liked the show. And if you like the Untrapped podcast and you get value from it, can you please take a minute and go over to Spotify and leave it a well-worded positive 5-star review? It helps boost the rankings on Spotify so the show can get to more people. Therefore, these messages can get out to more people and inspire more people so then they can go out and start their small businesses and crush it and get to the next level. It's a huge deal. All right, I'll see you in the next show.